Well, it's really a positive thing that's going on that the interest in climate and solving it is greater than ever, particularly the younger generation. If they think about what they want beyond their own individual success, the idea that for their lifetime, for their kids' lifetime, they don't want the destruction and migration and wildfires that will come. It's a real cause for them, and I congratulate them, and they need to deepen that because for the next 30 years, their voice to make sure we don't slow down in this work will be so critical. I've seen the negative effects of climate change, particularly in my work in Africa. Most of the poor there are farmers. The weather is getting worse. They have more years that their crop fails altogether. The heat means that even in a normal year, they're getting less output. And for Africa, they don't have savings or buffer stock, and they've got population growth. And so this is a life and death issue. Of course, every year it gets worse, and it's spreading to more and more parts of the country. So, all the way back in 2005, I decided I should learn about it. I didn't know that much. This kind of a timeline with a few of the milestones. I was lucky that some professors would take a half day and educate me with other experts about aspects of this. And so then in 2010, I gave a TED Talk talking about the challenge of innovating to zero. That's my climate talk. My pandemic talk was actually 5 years later after the Ebola crisis, where I warned about not being ready for the next pandemic. I've been funding companies, battery companies, most of which failed, some of which looked promising. But it was in 2015 that I first really participated in climate meetings, and they're getting this innovation idea onto the agenda, getting governments to commit to raise their R&D budgets. And also, that's when I committed to create a ventures group, Breakthrough Energy Ventures, that would simply fund climate breakthrough companies. And I still, wasn't convinced that doing a book was necessary and important. But just as I saw this commitment, as I, really agreed with the goal of zero by 2050, the fact that the metrics weren't right, it was mostly just the near-term reductions, which are fine, but there was enough going on about awareness of all these sources and awareness of how hard these things would be. I thought I should contribute, given experience and innovation, some thoughts on how we really make a plan. Because if you have all this idealism and we go 10 years and we don't, make massive progress, it's going to be terrible for the planet, terrible in terms of the cynicism you'll develop in terms of can humanity come together and do very, very hard things.